Donna Salazar here. Welcome to day 2 of Handmade Holidays Blog Hop. And we're going to do some tips and techniques with the Spritz from Clear Snap. And we'll talk about another couple tips as well. We're going to start with the color catcher from Clear Snap. And it is going to save your projects. If you do a lot of spritzing like I do, you might even want to have 2 of them, especially if you're going to use lots of water, the way that I do with my Spritz and blending the inks and all of that stuff. So it's good to have 2 on hand, because once you saturate one, you just put it down and bring up your dry one. By the time this one gets all saturated, then you can bring up the other one that you put down on the floor. Before we start spritzing, I'm going to talk a little bit about the bottles themselves. This is Smooch Spritz from Clear Snap. These are 2 of the new colors that we released at the summer show, Holly Berries and Evergreen. When you're going to use your Spritz, you always want to make sure that you shake them really well. So you can shake them just like this. There's nothing special that you have to do. You don't have to be gentle with them. Just shake away until you don't see any of the mica in the bottom. So you can see there is a lot of mica inside of these. And these are inks. They're liquid inks. So there's a lot of pigment in these, as well as the glittery, sparkly mica stuff. So you want to shake until you don't see any mica anywhere on the bottles. And if you're going to use the Spritz and you spray, you set something down, you work a little bit, and then you want to spray again, shake again. Every time before you press the nozzle, you want to make sure that you're going to shake your bottles, okay? You're also going to want to store them up like this after you open them, and keep the caps on and keep the tops clean using baby wipes. If you're in the middle of a project and you get a clogged nozzle, it does happen because, like I said, there's so much mica and pigment in here. You can just take the nozzle off and put it upside down in some 409, let it sit for a few hours, run it under warm water, and then keep spritzing it in a bowl of warm water until it runs clean. If if it hasn't cleaned out, then go ahead and put it back into the 409 until you can get the liquid to go through it. What I like to do is when I finish with my bottles, I take the nozzle off and I clean them out and I keep them in a bag, because if I am in the middle of a project when I get a clogged nozzle, I don't want to have to stop what I'm doing and clean it out. Now I've got extra little nozzles that I can just stick on and put the other one aside and then clean that out later. So that's a really great tip to keep in mind. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the spritzing. The 2 colors we're going to use today are the Evergreen and the Holly Berries. We're going to start with the frame that we die cut yesterday. And we're going to use water as well. This is just regular water. And I spritz it with the water pretty heavily. Okay. And then we're going to just spritz away, and then I'm going to wrinkle this up because I'm going to add some ink to it, and I want it to have some little wrinkles for me to catch with the ink on the outside edges. Okay, so then you'll just set that aside. Another couple things that you will be inking are the little Christmas trees from Spellbinders, and I'm using my Musical Memories. This is the Christmas version of the Crafty Chronicle. So I just place all of those inside, and I am going to wet these as well. Okay. Now you can leave them splattery like that if that's the way that you like it. So it has kind of a splattery, artsy look to it. Or you can blend it. I personally like it blended. I think it looks prettier blended. But I guess it would just depend on the kind of project that I was doing. Now, you see all of the color on my hand? That's not any big deal at all, because the wonderful thing about Clear Snap Smooch Spritzes is that they clean off with baby wipes or with soap and water, depending on how dark your colors are that you're using. So we're just going to blend these all And then we're going to grab a baby wipe. And I will show you how easily this all comes off. And then when I go to wash my hands with soap and water later, it will completely come off. So you don't have to worry about your hands being stained. Isn't that awesome? And tomorrow I'll be showing you how to make the little puffy Christmas trees that are on the project. And then the last thing we're going to spritz with the green. Actually, I spritzed the letters with the green using my corrugated board. However, after I spritzed it and I held it up to the project, I decided that I wanted to go with red instead. So we're done with the green. And now we're going to do red. Now this green is really dark, and because I add water to everything, it will wick up into whatever project or whatever piece I put in here next. So we're just going to wipe this down. Okay, so now we're going to use the holly berries. And you can spritz onto ribbon. I usually just buy one color of ribbon, and that's ivory, because I can change the color of anything using the smooch spritz. You can spritz it like this, or you can spritz it after it's already made into a bow. It's a little bit harder to spritz when it's in a bow because there's all the little crevices and stuff that you've got to get into. So we're going to just spritz it straight onto the ribbon. And this is double-faced satin ribbon. And then just kind of blend it. And look at how it took that color. And it's going to be sparkly, and it will also stiffen the ribbon. So that's kind of nice. We also have some flowers that are out of the artistic papers. And if you want to learn how to make these flowers, there's a lot of videos on YouTube, but I do have an e-class for the Rose Creations die set, which is what I used to make this. You can take that on the Girly Grunge site. So we're going to shake this up really well. And on this one, because the artistic paper was it was made for the spritzes, it will blend really easily, so I don't really need the water. And again, you can keep this splattery, or you can blend it smooth. And like I said, I like the blended look. So you can get in between all of the letters, all the layers. You can see all the color in here, and then look at how easily that will blend. So you can get the color on all of the different petal layers in here. And it'll give you a really deep, rich red. I love this red. It is so deep and gorgeous. Okay, so there you have it. And one final tip that I have for you doesn't have to do with spritzing. It has to do with the alpha dies that I did for Spellbinders. We were real creative with the name. They're called Donna's Alphas. Naming stuff is the worst for me. But anyway, so this is how I store my die-cut alphas. So I have all of my corrugated board, the Zutter corrugated board alphas, in these little Ziploc bags. So each letter has its own bag, and I just keep them on this ring. And then these letters on this side are pattern paper and blockout labels. So when you cut labels with the dies, automatically you get letter stickers, and it makes it go really fast. So it's a quick little tip, and makes doing titles on your projects and your layouts go really fast. So that's it for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the final video for Handmade Holidays Block Up. Thanks. Bye.